Could you benefit from building supreme confidence? What would change for you if you played your best when under pressure? What's it costing you to not have the confidence, the poise, and skill to execute when your team needs you most? I've created an exclusive training video designed just for you. I outline the 3 critical keys to building unshakable supreme confidence and dominating under pressure. You'll also find out how you can apply these to your career today so that you can start to speed up your results and follow a predictable system to get you to your goals. Go to IMNOTYOU.com/dominate under pressure. You can go ahead and access that free training. In less than 2 minutes, you'll be learning exactly what I teach my high-performance professional athletes and clients about what it takes to dominate. Again, IMNOTYOU.com/dominate under pressure.
If you try to get right, then you listen to my dad. He's a beast. And if you don't want to listen to him, okay, you don't want to get successful. If you ain't trying to dominate, man, then go listen to something else.
Welcome, athletes, top performers, and all those looking to gain that killer instinct, that edge you need to dominate in any environment. This is the Sports Motivation Podcast, and I'm your host, Niyi Sobo. I played ball and succeeded at the highest levels, and I'm now committed to showing you how you can accomplish the ambitious goals and visions that you have. This podcast is designed to teach you high-level strategy, not just fluff and hype. This will cut to the core if you let it. And by taking action on the practical and next-level advice I share, you will see results. Expect that. Expect to be more confident. Expect to be more focused. Expect to be more decisive. And expect to be more fearless. Expect to become the leader your vision needs you to become. So listen up. Take notes. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Sports Motivation Podcast. It's me, Niyi Sobo. Today's topic is very personal to me. It's very real to me. It's a reality that if you have decided to be great, to accomplish something that is not normal, is not something that you see all of the time, it's not what you look around and see all of your peers doing, it's inevitable. You're going to have to deal with this reality. And this reality is about what to do with those people who you've grown up with, those friends who you've been around with so long, right? And so before I get into this episode, which I'm gonna be giving you guys, this is all based on real life, all right? This is not theory. This is not like, some stuff I read in a book. This is real life. This is what I've actually gone through, what I see my close friends, family go through, clients go through. It's a very real thing. And there's a lot of pain associated with it. And it makes sense why. But before I go into it, I want to share a story. So, I'm third of 4 boys. And so growing up, I had this Nigerian, my dad's from Nigeria, very high standards for us. He didn't care too much about sports, honestly, but he cared a lot about school, all right? And so education was very important. And all of my brothers were very, very sharp in school. And so, especially my oldest brother. So he set the standard pretty high for all of us, and my dad did as well. But my point is, my brothers were on point when it came to schoolwork. And there was a period of time in middle school where I was starting to struggle a little bit. And by struggle, I mean not live up to the standards that my pops and my family had set up for me and my brothers, right? And I'm getting in trouble in school. Not nothing crazy, but hanging around with kids who, maybe not the best influence on me. I had some friends who were involved in some shady biz. But my point is, this was starting to affect my schoolwork. This was starting to affect just my behavior in school and things like that. And it was starting to be very evident to my dad that, he needed to do something, right? Now, my dad didn't necessarily go about it in the best way, although I understand why he did it and certain things that he did in order to handle me. But needless to say, I was at a point in time it was almost like a crossroads for me, where I could have decided to go a whole different way than what my dad had set up for us and what my brothers had already doing. My brother was in high school getting straight A's, 4.0 student, president of the school. He later, got a scholarship to Stanford University. So he was very, very set up, in the right way in terms of school. And so what happened was during this time of my life, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, hanging around kids who maybe not the best influence on me, starting to veer in a different direction, my brother, Tunde, my oldest brother, who was the one who was on point in school, what he decided to do was to take me under his wing. And he saw to it that I didn't veer off track. And here's how he did it. He spent time with me. One summer, he flew me out to Stanford. I stayed with him the whole summer and pretty much followed him the whole summer. He trained me. He got me in shape. I was traveling with the basketball team. My brother at that time, he later went on to play for the basketball team. But at this time, he was the manager. I've told this story before, but my brother has sort of like this Rudy story, with basketball. He started off as a manager, meaning like he was just handing out water bottles, cleaning the laundry, taking care of who got what pair of shoes and things like that. And he ultimately went on to play for the Stanford Cardinal when they were actually really good. I think they still are. I'm not sure. But anyway, my brother invested in me. He made sure that I didn't go off track. He influenced me. And he decided to influence me because what was happening is that my environment was influencing me in a negative way. And by negative, I mean it was taking me away from the path from which I knew I wanted to go and what my dad had set up for us, as well as my brothers, and the vision that he had for us. My point in telling this story is that influence matters. Who you're around very much matters. If you don't believe me, I'm going to read this. This is a story, a quote, or a clip, if you will, from the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. I use a lot of things from this book. It's actually one of the most important biographies or autobiographies I've read. Frederick Douglass was an American slave. He was black. And he escaped. He succeeded on his second attempt. The first attempt was not successful. The stories that he gives of the things that he went through and his ability to face some of the most horrific fears that he had the way I don't have to get into the details of what slavery looked like. But he ended up escaping, and he was an abolitionist. He was a writer. He was a speaker. He had a huge impact on a lot of the culture, not just then, but now. I mean, through what he did and how he influenced other slaves and things like that. But my point is, I want you to listen to this, all right? He said, "It is my opinion that thousands would escape from slavery who now remain, but for the strong cords of affection that bind them to their friends. The thought of leaving my friends was decidedly the most painful thought with which I had to contend. The love of them was my tender point and shook my decision more than all things else. Beside the pain of separation, the dread and apprehension of a failure exceeded what I had experienced at my first attempt." So hear what he said. He said, in his opinion, he's saying that thousands of slaves would have escaped from slavery, but they now remain only because of the strong cords of affection of their friends. We're talking about slavery, people who didn't try to escape from slavery because of their friends, because of the influence of their friends, because of the comfort and security you get from friends and family. It's a very real thing. Now, ultimately, Frederick Douglass decided against that, and how much more grateful are we that he decided to opt for freedom and helping others find freedom than the comfort of hanging out with his friends. You are always being influenced. You're always being influenced. You're either being influenced or you're influencing someone. So there's never a time when it's neutral. And with that knowledge, if you believe that, then you take your environment, your friends, even your family, your physical environment, you take it very seriously. You do not leave it up to chance. I'm reading a book called The Art of Living from Epictetus. He's an ancient Greek philosopher. All right. Now check this out. One of two things will happen when you socialize with others. You either become like them or you bring them over to your own ways. Just as when a dead coal contacts a live one, Either the first will extinguish the last, or the last kindle the first. Great is the danger. So be circumspect on entering into personal associations, even and especially lighthearted ones. Even and especially lighthearted ones. Most of us do not possess sufficiently developed steadfastness to steer our companions to our own purpose, so we end up being carried along by the crowd. Our own values and ideals become fuzzy and tainted. Our resolve is destabilized. It's hard to resist when friends or associates start speaking brashly, caught off guard when our associates broach ignoble subjects. We are swept along by the social momentum. So, until wise sentiments are fixed into you as if they were instinct, and you have thus acquired some power of self-defense, choose your associations with care and monitor the thrust of the conversations in which you find yourself. Damn, that's powerful. So what is Epictetus saying here? He's saying that you're either being influenced or you're doing the influencing. And what he's saying is that most of us are not strong enough in our conviction yet. We're not strong enough. We're not secure enough in our identity. And so what happens is when we get around people and we're not strong enough in our identity, we're being influenced, whether that's family, friends. And by the way, influence, I'm not talking about people influencing you to do drugs or have sex or whatever else, right? These are things to be influenced about or by. But we're talking about influencing your beliefs, influencing your ideas, influencing your confidence levels. If you're not sold on yourself, you're getting sold on somebody else. So he's saying, he said, our own values and ideals become fuzzy and tainted. Our resolve is destabilized. So our confidence is shook because it wasn't strong enough to begin with. And when we got into these fake, phony relationships, these shallow relationships based purely off comfort and whether or not how long you know them, we're not steadfast enough and we get shook. So we're saying, watch who you hang out with. Watch who you spend time with. He said we're swept away by social momentum, the momentum of our peers. He said, so until wise sentiments are fixed into you as if they were instinct, so until your confidence is now instinct and you know exactly who you are, and you have acquired some power of self-defense, is what he calls it, choose your associations with care and monitor the conversations in which you find yourself. This is powerful. And so the story of Frederick Douglass, people remain slaves just so they can hang out with their friends. Epictetus talks about because we're not strong in our own convictions, our own direction, we're easily swayed. You have to understand this and know that who you hang around is a real issue. It's a real thing. And you have choices to make. And that's a fact. You have choices to make about who you're around, who you spend your time with, who you listen to, who you entertain. He said monitor closely even those lighthearted relationships. Now, once you decide to live the I'm Not You lifestyle, once you decide to take on that mentality, what you're saying is that you're a part of the 2%. And that means that 98 out of 100 are not living that lifestyle. And because you now know the power of influence, you have to choose who you're going to be with. You have to decide. And guess what? When you decide to be great, when you decide to live what Urban Meyer calls above the line, when you decide to be excellent, when you decide to set goals, to sit down and write plans around those goals, when you decide to structure your days around the accomplishment of those worthy ideals and aims, when you decide that, your friends and family and outside, the outside is not going to understand it. And here's what it's going to look like. And again, this is not theory. This is real life. This is what I've experienced, what I've seen my clients, my family, my friends. This is what I've seen people experience, real life. Maybe you have experienced this. You probably have, especially if you've already decided. So number one, some of them are gonna give you the impression that you're weird. They're gonna give you the impression that oh man, you do all that. That's a weird stuff, or that self-help stuff, or that weird, reading all these books and stuff, doing all that stuff. That's weird. They'll make you feel weird. They'll make you feel awkward. I remember working as a firefighter. I was always very deliberate about what I choose to eat, right? Now, I'm not trying to act like I'm I actually have a lot of work to do when it comes to diet in terms of being really dialed in, you know, every single meal, right? But I'm very conscious of what I eat. I like to think I eat pretty healthy. And when I went to the when I became a firefighter, people don't eat that healthy, honestly. Like they'll eat ice cream like it's just like every day. I'm like, what's going on? How do you just eat ice cream every day of the week? Like ice cream is delicious, I understand, but I usually don't eat ice cream just like whenever. I usually don't have dessert whenever. I usually don't eat buttered bread like just whenever, right? And so what I had to do was, and it was an awkward phase, I had to decide like, okay, I got to not eat this certain things. And then I started becoming a vegan, or not vegan. I just cut out chicken and beef and pork. And so then I would have to tell them, nah, I'm not eating that. So I'd have to buy different things from the grocery store. Honestly, about 70% of the people that I work with made me feel as though I was weird. And I'll take that back. I felt weird. They gave me the impression that what I was doing was weird. So that's a fact. It's going to happen. People see you meditating before games, breathing before games, reading books, working out after practice. They're going to be like, oh, man, what you doing, bro? Practice is over. What you doing? Come on, man. They're going to make you feel weird. Then there's going to be some people who pretend they're on board with you. They're going to pretend that they feel you, that they, oh, yeah, I know about that. Man, yup, I be writing your goals down. Man, you got to write your goals, man. You got to do this. Yup, they talk a good game. They seem to know what they're talking about, but their lifestyles and their personal standards say otherwise. And you can tell. It's not hard to tell. There are those people. Then there are some who are naturally just kind of like gravitate away from you, just naturally, just by virtue of what you're doing. They're just going to stay away. And then some are going to try to make you feel guilty about what you're doing and how much time you're spending trying to grow, trying to improve, about not spending time with them. And they'll make you feel as if you owe them something based on the past or, whatever friendship you guys had in the past. So this is a reality. And what I found is that, and this is through my experience, there's a protocol that needs to be taken in order to set yourself up for the type of success that you want with the least amount of damage and drama. Now, there will be some damage. There will be some quote unquote drama. I don't like that word drama. I feel like the people who use that word drama are the ones who seek drama. But by drama, I mean, as we define it, drama. There will be some people who are upset with you, some gossip, some whatever. There'll be a lot of chatter going around your circles. It will happen. It's a fact. But I want to show you the importance of going about this in a deliberate way and show you what's worked for me. And by worked, what I mean is not that there wasn't any conflict or that there wasn't any mistakes made or that there wasn't any, hurt feelings. By worked, I mean I didn't lose track of what I was trying to do. I didn't fall off. I wasn't easily swayed. And I very clearly identified who was with me and who's not with me. In the Bible, I can't remember exactly the verse or something, but Jesus said, man, I'm coming to separate fathers from their daughters, for, husbands from their wives. And that's extreme, right? But I think what Jesus was saying is that when you sign up for this, man, don't expect everything to be all peachy. Don't expect everyone to be on board. There will be some people who don't agree with you. There will be some people you have to cut off. And it might be mom or dad. It might be husband or wives. It might be sons and daughters. It might be dad and mom. And again, that sounds extreme. But this is what you signed up for. And I'm not saying this is what has to happen or it has to be ugly or any of those things. And I'm gonna get into some specifics later. But what I'm saying is you have to understand, if you signed up for this type of lifestyle, you want to be great, there is a price to be paid. All right. So this process that I'm going to lay out is not a formula, if you will. How do I call it? A strategy, if you will, a way to approach this. And each step is going to look different for you, but each step is necessary. All right. So are you ready? I'm going to break down this step. Very, very important. 8 steps. All right. This is what you got to do once you decide you're going to be great. This is the process you're going to have to go through with your current circle and just in general. And this is bigger than just your friends and family, but this is the process that must be taken once you decide that you're going to be great, all right? So the first step, which I believe is the most important, is that you got to decide who you are, where it is that you want to go, and how you're going to get there, all right? Now, a lot of people start talking about how bad of an influence their friends are, but if you ask them, where are you going? What is it that you're about? They don't know. You got to know that first. This is not about your friends and your family. This is about you. So where is it that you're going? Where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? And guess what? This process takes a while. This is kind of like what you call like an incubation period where, this is what I was going through pretty much for 3 years as a firefighter. I became a firefighter very quickly. And I thought it was what I wanted, but it wasn't what I wanted. And so during that period of time, I was finding out who I was. I was soaking up game. I was learning. I was reading. And guess what? During this time, naturally, you don't see a lot of friends. You're kind of in the dark. It's kind of like fall camp, in football. In football, we always say, starting in August, sometimes late July, we have 6 weeks of football camp. And it's 2-a-days. And you're in camp all day. You're immersed in football all day, 6 weeks straight. You got the beard growing out. You ain't cut your hair. Family and friends ain't talk to you. You got like 1,000 unread emails, text messages. You're in the dark. You've immersed yourself in it. You're deciding, in the football sense, you're deciding who you are, what your identity is, and developing the skills necessary to enter into battle and start playing games. And so for you, this might take months. This might take years. Some of you are probably in this stage right now trying to decide, like, who are you? Like, who am I? What do I want? I'm not sure where I want to go. I'm still like a little unsure. And during this period, like, honestly, unless your friends are helping you decide this, there's not really going to be a lot of place for hanging out with a lot of friends, because the longer you stay in your current environment and try to stay comfortable, the longer you're going to be unsure about who it is that you are. And you say, well, I love my friends. I know you love your friends, and there's nothing wrong with your friends. But guess what? Your friends aren't helping you decide where it is you want to go. Your friends is trying to go to happy hour. Your friends is trying to smoke a blunt. Your friends is trying to go out to the club. Your friends are just trying to hang out and play video games and watch movies. Now, I'm not saying any of those things are right or wrong, but they surely aren't helping you decide where it is that you want to go and what you want to be. Steve Jobs had what he called, I think they call it the 10 dark years. The dark years. He spent 10 years, man. He worked every single day in his 20s. Every single day. Working on his craft. Trying to figure out who he was, where he wanted to go, how he was going to get there. So you got to ask yourself, have you decided who it is that you are? So you don't have your friends ain't got nothing to do with this right now. This is all you. Decide who you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. Now, maybe you've decided that. If you haven't, you need to decide. You decided it. Number 2, after that, we got to identify your current conviction level, all right? This means, how sold are you on your vision? How sold are you on where it is that you want to go? You ever meet somebody who has a goal and you question them a little bit on it? Like, even just ask a question and all of a sudden it knocks them off. They're already off track. They're not sold. Like what Epictetus was talking about. We're not steadfast. So we're easily swayed because we're not steadfast. And we're not steadfast because we haven't decided to be steadfast. We haven't done the research. We haven't gone through the fire, if you will. You got to refine your visions, refine your plans, get sold. You need to know your conviction level. How sold are you on where it is that you're going, what you're doing? If you want to go to the Olympics, you want to go pro, you want to get that new contract, you want to become CEO, you want to start your own company, whatever it is, decide on that shit and be sold on it. If you're not sold, it's no wonder every time you get a little question from somebody, you get sensitive. It's no wonder you keep arguing with everybody. I don't got to argue with nobody about my plans and my goals. Nobody. There's no argument to be had. I know exactly what I'm doing. So with all due respect, Pops, Dad, when you got a problem with what it is that I'm doing, it's not an argument. My dad didn't want me to retire as a firefighter. With all due respect, Dad, I know what I'm doing. No argument here. I know what I'm doing. Same thing with my wife. She thought I was crazy. Hey, babe, it's all good. I know what I'm doing. We'll be all right. So you got to identify your conviction level. Otherwise, it's no wonder why you're easily influenced. Number 3, now that you've decided who you are, what it is that you want, your conviction level's high, now is when you have to say, okay, what type of friends or influence do I need to help me get where I'm going? What do I need? And this is not even about positive or negative, right or wrong. This is not about judgment. This is not about like saying, oh, this friend's bad or not. You know which friends are bad or not, right? But a lot of times we're not talking about quote unquote bad friends. A lot of our friends are awesome, good people. But this is when you have to decide, like, who do I need around me in order to get where it is that I need to go? So what are your weaknesses? What are your liabilities? What are your strengths? What's going to prevent you from getting where you want to go? And you want to fill in the gaps. In what ways are you easily influenced? Know that, because if you're hanging around with people who do the very things that you're easily influenced by that are going to hurt you, why would you spend time with them? You got to know yourself and know what you need. So decide on the type of friends. Get very clear. I would say this about people who don't have a mate as well. If you don't have a mate, if you're a woman, you're looking for a good man. You're a man, you're looking for a good woman, and you're complaining about how there's no good men, no good women, or whatever else, right? You haven't gotten clear about who it is that you want. Get clear about who you want. You got to know. All right, so you did that. Now that you know what it is that you need in order to get where you're trying to go, right? Now you got to evaluate your current circle. Give yourself a reality check. Look at your current circle and just be honest, very objective. Are they helping you or are they hurting you? Carli Lloyd, arguably one of the greatest soccer players alive today. In her book, man, she says it's either helping me or it's hurting me. She said I ruthlessly cut out everything that's not helping me reach my goals. Everything that's not helping me. So this is when you decide in your current circle, are they helping you or are they hurting you? Do they help you raise your standards, or is it always a constant battle to keep your current standards afloat? And you know what I'm talking about. Where every time you get around them, you got to decide not to be knocked off guard, because everything that they're doing or saying goes against your values, goes against your beliefs. You got to struggle just to keep your what you believe in strong. And they're questioning it. They're testing it. They're challenging it. Or do they help you raise your standards? Do they say, nah, man, stop eating that food, bro? You said you wanted to get to the league, man. Why are you eating that? Are they helping elevate you, or are they holding you back? Are you able to challenge them, or do they get defensive every time you challenge them? Are they allergic to growth? Are they trying to grow or not? Are they just staying still? And are they okay with that? Do they opt for comfort and security above all other things? And you know who I'm talking about. You know. This includes family and friends. Are you able to call them out on something without them flipping shit over it? Are you able to say, yo, man, like, I don't like it how you do this, man. Like, I feel like every time I hang around you, you know, you always trying to get me to do this. Why? Are you able to do that and get to some sort of resolution? You need to know. After you've evaluated, all right? Now notice, I haven't said you need to kick anybody to the curb, anything like that. I don't believe, I'm not going to tell you how to do that, all right? I'm not going to tell you need to eliminate certain people in your life. I want you to make that decision on your own. But after you've evaluated your current circle, you know what you need to do next? It's very, very important, is you have to announce and present your vision, your plans, your expectations of yourself and of your friends. You have to announce that to your current circle. So maybe you say, I'm not comfortable just like cutting off a friend. Okay, well, now you need to announce it to them. You need to tell them where it is that you're trying to go, because many of you haven't done that either. You might be gossiping about them and how bad of an influence they are on you. And you haven't even told them your visions and your goals. You don't even know whether or not they'll help you or not. You haven't even challenged them yet. You scared to challenge them, acting like you in some great relationship, but you ain't even challenged them yet. Challenge them. Announce your vision. Tell them, here are my plans. Here's where I want to go. Here's why I want to do it. Here's what I expect of myself. Here's what I expect of my circle. I expect us to grow together. I want us to learn. I want us to accomplish together. I want us to become more together. That's what I want from my circle. I'm not judging y'all. I used to do the same things that y'all do, but I don't want to do that no more. I want to be great. I want to be phenomenal at what I do. I don't want to talk bad about the coaches no more. I don't want to gossip about people at work no more. That's not what I want to do no more. Tell them in person, tell them to their face, put it in writing, get them excited about where it is that you're trying to go. And then after that, the next step is you wait and see, just watch. Because here's what's going to happen. Some of them are not going to talk to you anymore. You won't even have to cut them off. They'll cut themselves off. They'll just stop talking to you. They'll go silent. They'll remove themselves from you. They don't want no parts of what it is that you're trying to do. Some will question you. Some will, make it seem like what you're doing is wrong. And this is where we go back. If you were solid in your conviction level, they're not going to be able to rock you. But they will question you. Some will ignore you. But it will be clear. They'll show themselves to you. So you have to wait and see. Watch. Look at how they respond. Look at how they react. Watch. And then next, you got to decide. You got to decide on the role people are going to play. You have to decide. This is your movie, yo. Like, this, you are the star of your own movie. You're the star. So you need to decide on who the role, the supporting actors are. You need to decide who's going to be, playing a part in your movie. Or are you just going to let anybody come in? You going to let C-level type actors show up in your blockbuster movie? What type of movie you want? You want one of them straight to Redbox movies? Or you want an Academy Award winning movie? It's no bum actors in those type of movies. And there's nothing wrong with straight to Netflix or straight to Redbox movies actors. There's nothing wrong with them. If that's what you want to be. But you said you wanted to be great. You said you wanted to be like, you wanted to be part of the 2%. So you need to decide, make a decision on what role these people are going to play. So mom or dad, what role are they going to play in your life? Do you got to go over to mom and dad's house every day just because they're mom and dad? Or can you say, you know what? I love mom and dad. They raised me, but I'm going to see them one time a month because that's all I can handle. Because any more than that, they're going to start influencing me in the wrong way. Every time I go over there, they're telling me I need to get a quote-unquote regular job. They're telling me I need to stop going after football. They're telling me I need to stop doing this. They're telling me I'm dumb for starting my own business. They're telling me they're worried about me. Does that help you? Now, they might be doing it with good intentions, and I believe they are. They want you safe. But they don't know what's best for you. Mom and dad don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. So decide. Brothers, sisters, do you have to hang out with them just because they're brothers or sisters? Is that your rule? Because if so, okay, good luck. Brothers and sisters going to influence you in a way that you don't want to go. Do you have to hang out with friends just because you've known them since 3rd grade? Is that your rule? Well, good luck. If that was the case, I'd be doing drugs right now. I would be locked up in the penitentiary right now because I have friends who are on drugs, locked up in the penitentiary, got 4 or 5 baby moms, working at the gas station. So if that was my criteria, you wouldn't be hearing me talk right now. If that was my criteria. But it's not. Decide on what yours is. This is your movie. You don't let anybody else in who doesn't belong. Nobody. I'm getting fired up because this is real life. Like, this is serious. This is what you are going to experience if you haven't already. And if you're having a hard time, hey, it's the other thing. If you're having a hard time making as much progress as you would like, you might want to look around and see who you're hanging around with. If it's the same that it's always been, there you go. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. He's having a conversation with the devil. And he said, Napoleon Hill's asking the devil, he said, in what way do we have to use caution the most advantageously? Because the devil told him that people don't use caution enough. The devil said this, in the selections of one's associates and in one's method of relating oneself to associates. The reason for this is obvious. One's friends and associates make the most important part of one's environment, and the environmental influences determine whether or not you form the habit of drifting or if you become a non-drifter. A drifter is someone like a zombie who walks around in life not getting what they want. A non-drifter is somebody who's a part of the 2%. The non-drifter has the I'm not you mentality. All right, just explaining what that means. And then he goes on to say, the person who exercises caution in the choice of his friends never allows himself to be closely associated with any person who does not bring to him, through the association, some definite mental, spiritual, or economic benefit. Any person that doesn't add benefit. And then Napoleon Hill said, isn't that selfish? He said, man, it's sensible and it leads to self-determination. It is the desire of every normal person to find material success and happiness. Nothing contributes more to one's success and happiness than carefully chosen friends and associates. Caution in the selection of the associates becomes, therefore, the duty of every person who wishes to become happy and successful. He said the duty. The drifter allows his closest associates to attach themselves to him or her on their own terms. The non-drifter carefully selects his friends and associates and allows no one to become closely associated with him unless that person contributes some form of helpful influence or bestows some definite benefit. Without the exercise of caution in the choice of all associates, no one may be certain of success in any calling. On the other hand, lack of exercise of caution brings almost certain defeat. Yo, so it's not just me, man. It's not just me. It's important. The last step, once you've done all that, go do what you got to do. Go carry on with your mission. Do it. Do it. Commit. Whoever wants to come along, let them come along. But don't lower your standards. You be the one setting the tone. You be the one influencing. This is how shit's going down. This is how I live my life. When I hang out with my friends, they know how I live my life. The friends that I've known growing up, they know how I live my life. They know my standards. I don't even got to announce them. They see it. It's clear. My confidence is clean. It's clear. It's pure. It's tangible. I'm sold on where I'm going. I'm sold on my vision. So I don't have to be thrown off by nobody, including my friends or family, including my dad and my mom, including my brothers. I don't have to be thrown off guard. So go do what you got to do. People are going to come on or not. And the ones who don't, you wish them love. You wish them success. You wish them growth, peace, and happiness, all of that. There is no saltiness. There's no anger. There's no bitterness. There's no resentment. It's all love. You can still see them, still go to their son's birthday parties, still send them a gift in the mail on their birthday. But you got to decide the level to which you're going to be associated with them. You don't owe it to nobody and no person. You owe it to yourself to put yourself in a place where you can succeed. Because by you succeeding, by you accomplishing, by you becoming all it is that you can be, you're adding value to those around you. You're setting the example for them. You're going to inspire them. A lot of them go through periods where they hate you, where they're salty towards you. But guess what? If you stay steadfast, if you stay focused, they will eventually come around. They will eventually be inspired and motivated by you. And some will stay haters. And guess what? Those are the ones who you never should have been around in the first place. So it's good. If it's a real relationship, it should be able to go through the fire. It should be able to last through the fire. Iron sharpens iron. It should be able to last. If you're scared to confront them because you are afraid of what they're going to say, that's not a good relationship. And you're scared. You need to step up. You need to go confront them. You need to have a conversation. You need to do what you must do. And if it's real, it will be real. And you don't even have to handle it the best way. But handle it. Do it. You don't got to worry about failing or saying the wrong thing. Say what's on your heart. Say what's on your mind. Do it from love. Do it because your vision requires you to. Don't be afraid of conflict. I hate conflict, but guess what? It's necessary. I don't like conflict. My heart beats really fast when I have hard conversations with people. I don't like confronting my wife about certain things. I don't like confronting my family about certain things. I don't like having tough conversations, even with my clients. I don't enjoy it, but I do it. I do it because it must be done. I do it because it's necessary. I do it because I love them. I do it because I love myself. I do it because my mission requires me to do it. I do it because my mission is attached to the greater good of all of humanity. My purpose serves all. I do it because my purpose requires me to do it. My purpose gives me strength. I'm weak. I'm human, just like the next man. So what's being asked of you right now? Who's in your circle? Who's in your circle? Where do you want to go? And is your current circle helping you get there, or are they hurting you? Are you going to be like all those slaves who didn't try to escape just so they can hang out with their friends? They can only hang out on Sundays, by the way. They worked all day. Slaves worked all day. They only got Sundays off sometimes. So basically, they gave up their freedom for 1 week or 1 day out of the week. But Frederick Douglass said, fuck that shit. I'm escaping, man. I love y'all. That's why I'm escaping. Because if I stay, that's selfish, because that's just for me. It ain't what's best for y'all. It's not what's best for you long term. I need to leave because I'm going to leave and I'm going to write this book. And I'm going to go speak all over the country in the North, alerting people of the horrors of slavery. I'm going to write in these newspapers. I'm going to inspire other people to escape. I'm going to inspire other people to do what's best for them and their families and their legacy. He didn't sit back and wait and go hang out and, drink moonshine and play cards on Sunday. No, that's weak. So don't forfeit your vision. Don't forfeit your purpose in life over some comfort of hanging around with friends and family and going over to mom's house and having some cornbread or whatever else is a comfort food for you. Don't forfeit that. Your vision is worth more than that. Your purpose is worth more than that. And I'm telling, that's from me. I'm telling you because I love you and I respect you and I want you to accomplish your goals. And you ain't going to do that in your current circle. That's a fact. You're not going to do it. You need to expand your circle. Make new friends. Build up the friends in your circle who want to grow. Build them up. But you can't do that if you're easily influenced. So get yourself strong and resolute and confident and sold on yourself, and they'll start to be influenced by you. That's what I'm saying. You don't even have to cut off all your friends. Some of them going to come along with you, but you're not sold. So figure out what you're trying to do in your life. Figure out who you are, what you stand for, what you do, what you don't do. Say, I no longer do this. This is not who I am. I don't do that. I don't do that. This is what I do. And then you become that, and inspire other people, inspire more people. Inspire the world with how you live. It's possible, man. It's possible. I got people emailing me every single day telling me the impact that I'm having on them through words, through a podcast, a free podcast on iTunes. That fires me up. And there's some friends that I have who I don't hang out with no more. And I don't know what they think about me. But it's none of my business. You know why? Because my purpose is attached to something higher. And I'm adding value to the world. I'm helping people. I'm helping people become fearless and accomplish their goals. I'm helping my family. I'm helping my friends, the ones who want to be helped, but not everybody wants to be helped. I've tried to help them. I've gone out of my way to help them. But they don't want to take it. They don't want it. So I'm going to put my focus on me. I'm going to put my focus on my family. I'm going to put my focus on you because you're listening. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you what I learned. I'm going to show you what I know. And I know a lot. I'm not going to front. I know a little bit about a lot. I can help you. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to put my focus on those people who listen to this podcast. And I'm going to pour my heart into it. I'm going to pour everything I got into it. Every day I read, every day I learn, every day I grow, every day I put myself through the fire. It's for you. It's for you so I can learn more, so I can show you more. I love it when I go through real shit. I love it when I go through tough challenges because then I say I'm going to learn something and I'm going to share it with the world. And we're going to keep growing and I'm going to use it to my advantage. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here, man. I just want to remind you that I do care about you and I do want you to grow. I do want you to succeed. And I'm not saying that you got to cut everybody out in your life and you got to be alone. I'm not saying that. That's not what's necessary. You will have to go through periods of time, though. You will have to go through periods of time where you are alone. And that's what's required. You must be lonely. Frederick Douglass was very lonely. He escaped by himself. He was alone. He spent a lot of time alone. But it ain't forever. I promise you that. It's not forever. And it's best for you. It's best for everyone. It's best for your legacy. You value legacy. You value what people are going to think of you long term. You value what people are going to say about you once you pass away. Then do what's best for you right now. Do what's best for you and your purpose, your vision right now. So what's the next move for you? Where were you at on these steps? Have you decided who you are? If not, then go do that. Do it quick. Do it now. Have you strengthened your conviction level? If not, do it. Do it. Have you decided what type of friends and influence you need to get you where? Go do it. Have you evaluated your current circle? Do it. Have you told your vision to your circle? Have you presented your plans to them and your expectations? Then go do it. And then watch and see. And then you need to decide on the role they're going to play. Decide right now. I didn't say none of this was going to be easy, but it's necessary. Now go do what you got to do. You know what you got to do, all right? I love you. I respect you. I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate you sharing this with people. I appreciate you leaving me reviews. I appreciate your emails. They inspire me. They motivate me. They keep me going. So thank you. Keep doing what you got to do. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do, all right? I'm going to keep bringing it. That's my promise to you. I told you in the beginning of this year, we're going to keep at it. Talk soon. Much love. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Motivation Podcast. Make sure if you dig in the podcast, go and subscribe so you can always get the latest episodes. I come out with a new episode twice a week on Tuesday and Friday at 3 a.m. Eastern. And make sure you go ahead and rate it and leave me a good review. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love. One of the most common questions I get from athletes all the time is this: what is the single best thing I can do to reach my goals? How can I set myself apart from everybody else? Obviously, there are a lot of things, but the one thing that's helped set me apart was having a coach, a mentor, someone to show me the right strategies and how I need to do things specifically to achieve my results. So you could try to do it on your own, but you'll end up making many mistakes that could have been avoided if you had someone guiding you and coaching you along the way. 99% of athletes in the world have expert coaches to show them the things that they can't see. If you want to work with me as your coach, I want you to go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC and learn more and sign up for a free coaching session. I'll give you 60 minutes of my time for free, and I can teach you some dynamic strategies, plus show you how you can secure me as your sports results coach. All I ask is that you fit in this criteria. You're serious about your sport, you're willing to invest the time and money, and you have clear goals of taking your game to the next level, or some sort of specific results you want to achieve. This is definitely not for everyone, and I have very limited spots available for this. So, if this applies to you, I want you to take action. Go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC, and I guarantee you're going to take your game and your career to the next level.